slow and steady wins the space race route with a pair of 130-foot wide behemoth machines called crawler transporters. For over 55 years, these gigantic machines have been responsible as 100 Sherman tanks, clocking in at 3,150 tons and 3,300 tons each. Thanks to their enormous weight, they only travel at a speed of roughly 1 mile per hour with a top unloaded speed of 2 miles per hour. So even if you're intimidated by their size, you could probably outwalk both crawlers with ease. But what they lack in speed, they make up for in loading capacity, with each of them able to carry 8,000 tons. That's more than 25 fully loaded Boeing 777 airplanes. You need the biggest trucks. This absolute beast is the Liebherr T248 mining truck. With an overall width of almost 32 feet and a height of over 27 feet, that makes this truck about as tall as a 2-story building. Also known as haul trucks, vehicles of this design are used to move huge amounts of earth or other material from one place to another, all in one go. But what's really fascinating about this particular truck is that it has one of the lowest empty vehicle weights for its gargantuan proportions. That means it weighs in around a paltry 240 tons. I say paltry only in comparison to the standard payload it can carry, which can reach 360 tons, and the Hitachi EX8000-6. This humongous mining excavator, seen here working at a coal mining plant in Mozambique, measures in at over 70 feet long when fully extended. That giant shovel is designed to carry over 170,000 pounds of material, which is like trying to lift a vehicle maybe capable of lifting humongous amounts of weight, but it definitely wasn't built for speed. With the track-based travel device able to top out at just 1.2 miles per hour, you certainly can't use this thing for a drag race. But instead of favoring speed, the machine's lower rollers and track shoes have been designed to keep its giant body stable, which on its own weighs around 800 tons. That's about the size pieces of mining equipment in the world, and the MT240 is no exception. While it's currently still in development, when it hits the market, this gigantic mining haul truck will reach over 24 feet in height, 22 feet in width, and 70 feet in length. That'll make it longer than the Balazs 757-10, the biggest mining haul truck in the world. But it's not just about size. MT240 boasts an impressive payload of 218 tons. The Balazs 757-10 can carry a staggering 496 tons. However, the MT240 has a few tricks up its mechanical sleeves that may put it ahead of the competition. First, its dump cycle will involve a swiveled hoist system so the truck can dump its load off 90 degrees to the side, making it easy to unload on tight roads. And second, its 10 massive wheel groups will work on 5 different axle lines, giving it greater off-road capabilities. Taking all that into consideration, 25 Marias it's a plane. But not like any plane you've ever laid your eyes on before. This is the Antonov AN-225 Maria, the heaviest and largest single fuselage airplane in the world. This strategic airlift cargo aircraft was designed during landing and takeoff. The AN-225 was designed with 32 wheels across its landing gear, also giving its giant body additional maneuverability and support. With a colossal 288-foot wingspan, the wings of this plane are as each wing holds 3 giant turbofan engines, where most commercial airplane wings only hold 1. With the extra power behind it, the AN-225 can fly with a maximum payload of over 500,000 pounds. That means this front and rear loading Sky Mammoth can be used to transport almost anything, from huge locomotives like trams to the heaviest single piece of cargo ever transported via air, a generator for an American power plant weighing 189 tons. Incredibly, the latter big lift wasn't even max capacity for the plane. Real standout feature about the Airlander 10. And no, it's not that its rear looks like a gigantic bubble butt. From nose to tip, this blimp-like aircraft measures in at a huge 302 feet long, with plans announced in 2020 to extend that even further to 320 feet in length. That'll make it at least 45 feet lengthier than the previously mentioned Antonov 225 Mariah, which hits just 275 feet long. The helium-filled hull, clever aerodynamics, and vectored thrust of the Airlander's engines make air travel in this Sky Beluga much more efficient than traditional planes. That's because most of the airframe's weight, which tops the scales at just 44,100 pounds, is countered by the helium's natural buoyancy. So assuming it was carrying its maximum payload of 10 tons, it would produce approximately 75% fewer emissions than competitor aircrafts in similar roles. But this green tech initiative hasn't always been an easy ride, mainly from ill-fated test flights like this one in 2016. But when you take a look at the L-2350, it's clear you're in the presence of a very real giant. This front-end wheel loader has an operating payload of 160,000 pounds, which means it can lift material weighing almost as much as a Boeing 727. These kinds of earth movers are four-wheel drives designed for strength, durability, and maneuverability around a construction site. And as it turns out, they also make for great novelty photo opportunities. When fully raised, the L-2350 reaches a grand height of 43 foot, 11 inches. Which means if you ever need to lift your personal jet onto the roof of your 4-story home, you can. But one of the main features you might first notice about this incredibly sized vehicle are the top of these 157-inch diameter tires can set you back around $100 grand. And that's without the chain grip surrounding this particular one, like P&H Mining's 4100 AC mining shovel. These types of machines use a series of steel ropes and winches controlled by electric engines to power their digging efforts, unlike more traditional hydraulic systems. But they can definitely keep up, working with an average payload of 180,000 pounds per scoop. That huge payload is thanks to that colossal bucket, which has the capacity to hold over 1,700 cubic feet of material. So in theory, it would take only 50 scoops from this behemoth's bucket to fill an entire Olympic pool. Although dropping it from its maximum dumping height of 31 feet might cause a bit of a splash. So make sure this humongous vehicle is a bucket wheel excavator. Despite the menacing chainsaw-looking wheel, bucket wheel excavators of this size usually make up part of a continuous mining system. As the wheel at the front of the machine turns, large buckets attached to it scoop up earth before dropping it onto a conveyor belt. The ThyssenKrupp Bagger 288 you can see here has a wheel made up of 18 buckets, each one with a capacity of 233 cubic feet. That's with the wheel continually in motion. The Bagger 288 has the capacity to shift almost 8.5 million cubic feet, or roughly 380,000 tons of earth every single day. The 288's big brother, the Bagger 293, transports the same amount, but with a little extra junk in the trunk. This 315-foot tall, 738-foot long excavator holds the Guinness World Record title for both the largest and heaviest land vehicle. It requires 16.5 megawatts of power to run, which is about enough power at a staggering 14,196 tons in weight. The 293 can only achieve a top speed of 0.3 miles per hour. And yet, thanks to their ingeniously designed weight distribution, these machines leave tracks steady. But if you ever want to move a mountain, these metal